Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we are gathered here tonight for a little bit of geeky trivia. And I can't have geek trivia without the trivia man himself, the useless trivia man, at least, Mr. Brian Nash. Brian, my friend, how you doing? And tell me something fun that's going on this week.
All right. I'm doing good. This was kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, why don't we just do one of these? I went, well, I've got some geek trivia questions.
Yeah,
Let's go.
A couple drinks in, so I'm not going to even pretend like we're drinking.
We're still drinking the bikini bottom pineapple wheat from the last episode because I'm 3 in. So fuck it, let's go. Something fun this week. My son, the high school senior, is going to his very first prom this week.
That's cool.
So that's a thing that's happening.
That's awesome. Let's go up to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Turn to my friend. How you doing? And Nate, give me some good news from this week.
Good news from this week.
It could be as simple as you and Candace are still together.
That is good news. I assure you. Yes, we are rapidly approaching the 1 month to go range until we hit June 8th and sign a piece of paper that says we are legally entombed to each other. But no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just this week we booked some restaurants for our honeymoon in Louisville, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We got one like a revolving restaurant on top of a hotel, so we'll see how that goes.
I was texting with Bucksbaum earlier today, and I'm like, "Hey, Leah and I are going to be in the city area sometime in June. You and your obviously much better half going to be able to join us to dinner or something like that." And he goes, "Well, it depends when in June, because I'm looking forward to Turner's wedding." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing that's happening."
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if that actually happens. We're still 50-50.
He better be there. He's the officiant.
He is looking forward to it. You know what I'm looking forward to? Spending more time talking to my friend Brittany. Brittany, how you doing? And tell me something good about today, or this week, or this month, or this year.
Yeah. Well, I am doing okay. I'm having a good night so far, and something fun I'll pick from this month. Aaron came to town, and I got to spend about a week with him in person. We went to watch the total solar eclipse together, and I got to spend several other days together, and it was just really nice having him in town. So
very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, Brian, you are running this game. I get to play trivia for the first time in forever. Take us away, my friend.
All right. We are going to do some geek trivia. We're going to go through 3 rounds of it. I've got 8 categories. You'll each get a question in one of the. I've got. Sorry, I'm a few beers in. Yeah, I've got 8 categories, and you'll each get a question from one of those categories from each category. We'll go through 3 full rounds, and we'll see how this goes. All right. Well, on my screen, I've got you on my screen as Chris, then Brittany, then Michael. So we'll go in that order, and we'll go through 3 full rounds of questions. The categories for tonight's game. We will do video games, animals, sports, purple stuff, Disney, history. I have a category called Names the Same, where I will give you clues about I will name 3 people, places, or things that all have a common name between them. All you have to do is give me something, or give me that common name. So, for example, if I said the dad from Family Guy, the boy who wouldn't grow up, and Star-Lord, well, that would be Peter Griffin, Peter Pan, and Peter Quill. So Peter would be the correct answer. Hey, Brian. So, however, tonight's Names the Same is all about bridges. So they will be a Names the Same, but in some way, shape, or form, they will also have something to do with bridges. And then the final category will be science.
Science.
All right. So we're going to start off. Chris, you get video games to start. Are you ready?
No.
Too
Chris,
bad.
I believe in you.
All right. first released in 1977, which video game company's first home console was unimaginatively called the Color TV game?
First console, 1977, the Color TV game. Like, going back that far, my best guess is Nintendo, although I don't know if there's anything before the NES. No, because they wouldn't call it the NES, right? Unless they realized the Color TV game was the worst name they could have. So they went with branding and called it I'm going Nintendo.
All right. Nintendo is a correct answer.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Before they called it the Famicom, it was simply called, and it was only available in Japan, it was called the Color TV game.
Well done.
Chris gets a point. Brittany, you get animals. What type of animal has 9 brains, 3 hearts, and literal blue blood?
I believe that would be my favorite sea creature, the octopus.
The octopus is correct. Brittany's getting a point. Michael, in sports, in which New York town is the National Baseball Hall of Fame?
Cooperstown.
Cooperstown is a correct answer. All right, moving over. Chris, you get purple stuff. What purplish black Brazilian berry was at the heart of so many scams that in 2009, it was number 1 on the Federal Trade Commission's scams and ripoffs list?
Brazilian berry, purple and black?
Would you like me to read that again?
I mean, it's not going to do me any good, and my brain is shot. So I'm going to go with a berry that... Well, it's not the dingleberry. I don't have right answers. I have bad jokes.
Low-hanging fruit, swing.
I can't go low-hanging fruit here, Turner. No idea where it came from. Boysenberry, why not?
Unfortunately, it is not the boysenberry. It is the acai. A-C-I-A-C-A-I.
Acai, all right.
Yep. All right, Brittany, you're getting Disney. At a combined total of 6 movies, which beloved Disney character is mentioned in the titles of the most of their full-length feature films? If you need a hint, it is not an animated character.
Okay. Mentioned in six titles?
Yes.
Okay. It's not animated character. You said that. Oh, I'm gonna go with Mr. Chicken.
Unfortunately, it's not Mr. Chicken. Everybody seemed to be puzzling over that one pretty hard. Anybody else got a guess on that?
I was just trying to think of what live action Disney would have had that had 6 different things.
Herbie?
He is number 53. It is Herbie the Love Bug.
I forgot that
Good
there
pull.
were so many
Freaking
Herbie
Lindsay
movies.
Lohan.
All right. Mr. Turner, you get history. As of 2024, who's the only British monarch to be coronated in the 21st century?
That would be Prince Charles III.
Charles
King
III.
Charles III. Yeah.
Charles III is correct. All right. And we're back over to Chris. You get names the same, bridges. So I'm going to name 3 people, places, or things that all have a common word in their names. Ready? We're looking for one of the weapons in Clue, Janet Jackson's 6th studio album, and Mount Midoriyama Stage 4 on American Ninja Warrior.
Okay. The only way I'm going to get there is Clue. Revolver, rope, candlestick. If it's candlestick, I don't. And I'm out of Clue. I don't have a clue now. You know, Revolver sounds like an album title. Revolver sounds like something might be on Ninja Warrior. I'm going to go Revolver.
Okay. So, American Ninja Warrior is that fun obstacle course that they all have to go through. Janet Jackson's sixth studio album was called The Velvet Rope.
Okay.
And Mount Midoriyama is the season finale, and stage 4 is always the rope climb.
Never heard that. So, all right, I'll take the L.
All right. And finishing the last question in the first set of questions in the category of science. For Brittany, which type of dentist diagnoses and treats teeth and jaw irregularities?
I can name 2 types of dentists. One of them is a dentist, and the other is an orthodontist. I mean, there's like the doctor of dental surgery, but I don't think it's this one, so I'm going to say orthodontist.
Orthodontist is a correct answer.
Cool.
I get Velvet Rope. She gets orthodontist.
Yes. Yes, you
just
do.
wait till I get to my sports question, Chris. It'll be.
But I want to bitch and moan now, Brittany.
Fair enough.
All right. And now we're moving on to the second set, wherein we're starting off the second part. In video games, we're starting off with Mr. Turner. Okay, before we talked about Nintendo, speaking of Nintendo, let's go from the oldest to the newest. As of the start of 2024, the best-selling game for the Nintendo Switch is the 8th title in which franchise?
Say Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 8 is a correct answer.
Good pull, Turner.
Very well done. And we're back over to Chris. You're getting animals. Which mammals are the only ones capable of true and sustained flight?
Which mammals are the only ones capable of true and sustained flight? It's not the armadillo.
Not sustained.
Not unless you're launching them.
Well, they do that bounce thing, but I don't think that's what we're after.
It's like I've heard of a flying squirrel. Is a bat a mammal? I'm going to go with a bat.
Good thing you did, because that's the correct answer.
That is
all right. Moving on to Brittany for sports. Making history in 2023, which 2 brothers competed in the same Super Bowl?
I know this one. It's Mr. Taylor Swift's boyfriend and Mr. Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother. Or Jason and Travis Kelce.
Jason and Travis Kelce is correct.
Well done.
All right, Turner. Purple stuff.
All right.
Which orange-nosed Sesame Street monster, who was first introduced in the 1990s, is the best friend of Baby Bear and is the owner of a pet hamster named Chucky Sue?
Yeah, I'm out. I do not know any Sesame Street from the 90s. Lola Monster.
Lola Monster is a decent guess, but incorrect. Did somebody else want to jump in on that? Looked like somebody might have known the answer to that.
I did. Then I realized I'm colorblind. That I don't think the color of Grover is purple. So
Grover's actually blue. He's not purple.
The only purple Muppet I could think of was the cat.
Abby Cadabby?
It is Telly Monster.
Telly Monster. Okay.
All right. Moving on. Next up is back to Chris for Disney. Your question. Most remember that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the very first Disney animated film. But what was their second film? It was based on an 1883 children's novel.
Okay, so this is pre Fantasia, pre Pinocchio. The styling of the cartoon is similar, so I'm gonna say Alice in Wonderland.
Decent guess. Alice in Wonderland, I believe, was 1950.
This is Sleeping Beauty.
This is
It
Pinocchio, isn't it?
This is Pinocchio. You said it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pinocchio was number 2.
1940.
God, Pinocchio is the shit. All right.
All right. Moving on to Brittany for history. Which national park in California is named after the tallest species of trees on Earth?
Redwood National Forest.
Redwood National Park is correct. And Mr. Turner names the same bridges. Okay, we have a Boeing B-17 bomber, a spaghetti monster, or an alphabetical gas station franchise with over 800 locations.
I can't get B-52 out of my head, so I'm just going to go B-52.
Unfortunately not.
Is it flying? Or
so
jet?
we have the flying spaghetti monster, a flying fortress Boeing B-17 bomber, or the Flying J gas station franchise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alphabetical gas station franchise. Flying is what we were looking for. All right, back to Chris for science.
Science.
Which of the planets in our solar system has the hottest surface temperatures?
Oh, it's got to be Venus. I know, because there's no atmosphere left on Mercury. Venus traps everything.
You are absolutely correct. It is Venus. Well done.
I'm your Venus. I'm your fire.
All right, and that finishes off the second round. We have one more round to go. And just for a score update, it's a tight game. Chris is currently sitting at 3, Brittany at 4, Michael at 3. So it's going to come down to it. And we are starting off round number 3 in video games with Brittany.
Oh, we get to make up ground here, Turner.
All right. Supposedly engaging half of all U.S. children under the age of 16, which online gaming platform went public in March of 2021, raising $520 million and gaining a valuation of $29.5 billion?
I can think of 2. Oh, wait, 3. Shit. You said under 16 in 2021?
Yes.
And it went public in 2021?
Went public in March of 2021.
Does that mean like stock market went public or like was released to the public? Like stock market, probably.
Stock market for valuation purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick the one that I think is right because I think Roblox might be a little bit more recent than that or isn't public. So I'm gonna say Fortnite.
Oh, you went the wrong way on that coin flip.
Was it Roblox?
It was Roblox.
Oh, no.
That was actually, see, my original thought was Fortnite, and then I went to Minecraft. I was like, oh, Minecraft is going to be earlier. And I was like, the only other thing I could think of was Roblox, but I don't know enough about Roblox.
I don't really either, but one of the kids in my family absolutely adores it. All right, Mr. Turner, you're getting animals. The 9-banded type of which mammal is its only species to be regularly found in the United States?
The brown bear.
Unfortunately not. We actually mentioned it recent in the last round. It's the armadillo.
Not capable of sustain.
There you go.
Which is why I was attempting not to lose my shit when he said 9-banded. I was like, we just talked about armadillos.
Nice.
All right. We are at sports for Chris. Which NFL team plays its home games at AT&T Stadium?
Is that what it's called?
You know this.
I know. I'm trying to think. If it's the stadium I'm thinking of, I've been there. I watched FSU Oklahoma State there in 2014. It's got to be Jerry's World, the Dallas Cowboys.
It is the Dallas Cowboys.
Very good.
You
Well
knew
done, sir.
way more about that than I was ever going to have to get that.
By the way, if you have not been to that stadium and seen a football game there, it is insane, but pay to be closer down to the field. You don't want to be in those nosebleeds.
They hosted WrestleMania 32 as well.
Yeah, I care more about Florida State 2014 celebrating a national championship.
All right, Brittany's getting purple stuff. While its purple flowers superficially resemble clover, what forage crop is called lucerne in most other parts of the world? If you need a hint, this livestock fodder shares its name with a little rascal.
Okay. It's called lucerne everywhere else, meaning we have something for it in the US. It's purple. I think I can name 2 little rascals. Thankfully, one of them might actually work here because it is a plant. I don't think there's a Darla plant, but there is an alfalfa plant, so I'm going to go with alfalfa.
Alfalfa is a correct answer. All right. And Mr. Turner, it's time for you to check your Disney. And here we go. In the 2019 version of The Lion King, who voices Simba?
Donald Glover?
Donald Glover is a correct answer. Well done.
I was just watching Community this morning.
Pop, pop. All right, Chris, you are getting a history question.
Brian, I don't think you understand the magnitude of that joke.
Oh, well played, sir.
Streets ahead for you.
I am 100% Gryffindor, by the way.
All right, Chris, a history. Which U.S. president created the Environmental Protection Agency?
Okay, so I have heard this before, and I feel like it's one of those that just doesn't kind of sit right. So I feel like it's a lot later than you think it is. Like, I feel like it's in my lifetime this happened. And I feel like it was a Republican, which leads me to Reagan or Bush Sr. And just based on how long he was in office, I'm going to guess Reagan.
Not a bad guess. It was a little bit earlier than that. It's still later than I thought. I thought it was a significantly older organization than it is. It was Tricky Dicky. It was Richard Nixon.
I knew there was a reason why. I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
doesn't seem to fit, but okay.
Yep.
That fits the bill.
I think Reagan may have been TVA or instrumental in the founding of that one. I don't know. But
Time Valley Authority?
the Tennessee Valley Authority. The Time Variance Authority.
I'd say Reagan is part of the MCU now?
Hell no.
We found a replacement for Kang. All right.
Wow.
Okay.
We all have to fight Ronald Reagan now.
All right. We are down to the last 2 questions. Brittany's getting names the same bridges. Here we go. You have the Call of the Wild, a city that has hosted the Summer Olympics 3 times, and Brenda Song's character on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Nice.
Okay, that last one clinched it for me. I believe this is a bridge famous for falling down and then relocating to Lake Havasu, Arizona, London.
London is correct. Jack London, England, and London something.
London Tipton.
Tipton, thank you. All right. And lastly, here we go. Mr. Turner, your question in science.
Science.
Harrison Schmitt was the last human to accomplish what notable feat? As of today, he's still only the 12th person to ever do this, but there may be more added in 2025.
Sorry, I know this is audio medium. It's terrible audio for me not to say anything. I have not the foggiest idea. I'll say, have dinner in my kitchen.
Let's play Risk.
Unfortunately, no. Harrison Schmitt is the last person to walk on the moon.
If you believe they put a man on the moon.
So, yes.
So I looked it up because I had a different name in mind for what that was. With 12 people, I assumed it was person on the moon. But I have Eugene Cernan was the last person to walk on the moon.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. The list I pulled from said it was Harrison Schmitt. I am not infallible, and I could certainly be wrong. To the Googles.
It looks okay. So Harrison Schmitt and Eugene Cernan walked on the moon together. So I think this is like a
okay
hand in hand.
Yeah, and I'm looking at NASA.gov for that source. So
okay, so they were both out there at the same time.
Okay, I'm looking at it, seeing that Schmitt was actually the last person.
Okay.
So the last person to walk on the moon. So I wonder if maybe did one of them like get off the module first, and this other one was like the last one to actually get back in?
I don't know.
But what I'm saying is the 12th and final.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
On the last of their 3 Apollo 17 EVAs, Harrison Schmitt stepped out of the Apollo module onto the surface of the moon after Gene Cernan, and is therefore the 12th and most recent person to have stepped out onto the moon.
Well,
stepped out
there
on.
you go.
Okay.
Stepped out onto,
Cernan was there before Schmitt.
Yeah, and NASA.gov,
Liars.
have their
Dirty
shit
liars.
together.
However,
Eugene Cernan, the last man to walk on the moon.
Well, technically, so it could go either way, because when they went back into the lunar module, Schmitt went first. So Cernan was on the moon after.
So he was so Cernan would have been the last one to walk on the moon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That would require.
So Schmitt was the last person to set foot.
Yes,
on the moon.
he was.
So I will need to update my questions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they both stepped out. He stepped out first, and when they got back on the capsule, Cernan stepped in after him.
We have a photo finish. Can we go to the replay?
Well, actually, Schmitt took a photo of Cernan on the moon.
All right. Okay, so our game has come to a close. It was a well-fought fight. We have Chris finishing off the night at 4. Michael Turner finishing off at 4, but Brittany is going to take the win with 6 correct answers out of her 8 questions.
Boo.
I would like
Nicely
to thank
done,
you.
kids.
I would like to thank you for the Jason and Travis Kelce question, which was the only of those sports questions I knew. I don't even remember what Turner's was, but I knew I was sitting there like,
Chris, we got beat by a Jeopardy alum. Who knew?
All right, I was on that.
Shocking, I say.
All right. Did you have a good time with it?
God, no.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry for answering your last question.
This is what happens when it's after 11 o'clock and we all just like, none of us wanted to sign off, so we just kind of stayed and hung out.
You're right.
This is fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Brian, I want a full one of these games written, or use the same questions you have. And we'll just do a full game.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
Test Chris's recall.
Yeah, if we could use the same questions too, and just not tell anyone this ever happened.
Yeah. Look, all you got to do is drop this after that first episode comes out, and then we're just testing recall.
See?
Big brain moment.
Chris just wants as many different trivia formats on the network as he can possibly get.
Hey, listen, the idea behind PTE has always been that it's never going to have a set format. We'll have formats we iterate to and move to, but I am the person that gets bored quickly. So like having the same thing over and over again isn't good for me.
I didn't even think about it, Chris. We could have done the movie game too.
I do want to get
Oh,
that scheduled.
right. Yeah.
There'd be something hilarious about having Brittany play movie.
Yes, please. I want to play movie because
play movie?
I knew a shocking number of those questions. I don't remember them right now, but I remember being like, hey, I know this one, and being shocked.
Okay.
I won't win,
We can get that
but I'll
scheduled.
put up a good fight.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
a fight. Or shit post. I don't know. Like, one of those three things.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the episode tonight. If you want to support the show, patreon.com. Actually, just check the show notes. It's all right there. Facebook group, Discord server that we're all on, entirely too much. It's all out there. But we do thank you for your continued support. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Brittany.
I've been Brian.
I've been Turner.
Until next time, have a good one.